Hi Gemini, this is Whispers in the Wind, and this is your reading for the first week of March 2022, and that will extend from the 1st to the 7th of March 2022. Now, when I was first doing the overall energy for the reading for your sign, a couple of cards jumped out, and the cards are talking about perhaps a loss of some of your resources. Maybe you were counting on something coming in, a stipend coming in, a raise coming in, a bonus coming in, and indeed, it might not be there when you need it, okay? It does talk about having to take care of your material things and having to take care of your money and budget and be very frugal, okay? Now, there might be, maybe you're having car problems, or maybe you have a bill that just popped out of nowhere. I mean, if you're in school, if you're a student, and this comes up for you, it talks about possibly there being an added expense, perhaps to your education. Perhaps you took out an OSAP loan, and all of a sudden that OSAP loan is coming due, where you're having to pay it back. And so you're having to be aware of these type of issues, okay? But it is talking about having to budget your money and hold on to the funds that you do have. Now, it also talks about victory coming in. So there is some type of victory coming in where indeed you are being perhaps given some accolades. Perhaps you've been given some accolades. Maybe you're even receiving a scholarship, or maybe you're being promoted to a new situation, a new position that is going to give you those added resources, that added funding. But it does talk about, just because this is coming in doesn't mean that you can basically like squander it. So it does talk about extra money coming in and you having to be very aware of holding on to some of those coins, because there will be a bill that's coming up. Now, in the first week, it does talk about a possible addiction that perhaps you're dealing with. And this might be you, this might be someone else, okay? Maybe you're addicted to spending money, and so you're having to rein back on that. You're having to, hold on to those coffers a little bit more. But it's almost like you're feeling driven to perhaps purchase things, maybe purchasing power, because of the fact, we've been in a lockdown. Maybe you're going through a period of depression, and the only way you feel like you're becoming part of society again is to spend money. And that's what this is talking about, is being very, very vigilant when it comes to your finances. Now, it also talks about addiction in other ways, physical addiction. So perhaps maybe you're drinking a little bit too much. Maybe you're, indulging in whatever drug of choice it may be. And it is talking about the fact that this is leaking into your budget. So it's eating away those resources that you need in order to survive in this day and age. Now, it's also talking about a semblance of fear. So when this card comes up, it talks about being very vigilant of the people around you, because somebody is not dealing with perhaps their addiction. This could be, you could be crossing the street and there's somebody who's had a little bit too much to drink, and they're driving down the road unawares that you're there, and perhaps you get, you have to be very vigilant. You have to be vigilant of what's in front of you, what's behind you. Be vigilant of other people not acting ethical or morally, okay? Perhaps someone is not paying any attention, and they're drinking and driving, and there might be an accident, okay? So you have to be aware of these things. Maybe you're going to see it, maybe you're going to be involved in it. So what I am telling you is, in that first week of March, if you are indulging, I'd be hanging up the keys. I wouldn't be going anywhere at all if you're indulging in any type of drug, even medication, even overdoing it on medication that perhaps makes you drowsy. Now, if you are being worked to the frazzle, a lot of people are, right? So maybe you're really, really tired. Maybe you're tired, and you're, trying to get a reprieve from work, and so you decide to take a little bit of a trip, but you're tired. You're tired, and so maybe you get in a minor fender bender. So this is what I'm talking about, but it's more over the energy that I'm getting is a stronger energy than that. But it's going to be different for all of you, because this is a general reading. So it's a stronger energy. It's almost like you have to be aware of someone else's, could be emotional, could be physical, could be psychological, okay? Somebody else's addiction or lack of control over their emotions, okay? And that's going to be in that very, very first week of March 2022. So be very vigilant, be very cautious, and indeed, yourself. If it's talking about finances and having to hold on to your money, if you have an accident, or if your car gets broken down, or you get in an accident with someone and you might need that extra money to get a tow truck, or you might need that extra money to get a cab home, or to fund some way of providing you a ride to wherever your destination is. So indeed, be very, very vigilant, be very safe, be very careful, watch for other people not paying attention to what they need to be doing also. So I'll see you in that second week. It looks like the second week is a little bit calmer, so let's move over there and we'll see what happens. Namaste.